Hey everybody, it's Josh Olive with Haven Comics. It's Thursday night it's time for some shop talk, so stick around. It's still Thursday. I'm still here. Let's talk some shop talk. We're going to talk some Superman. We're going to talk some comics. But first, we have to talk about one of the coolest cats to ever grace a comic book page, Mr. Alan Breedlove. What's up, Alan?
You know what? That hat that I was sporting last week in that art was pretty spiffy.
That was pretty spiffy, I gotta say. I didn't get a hat, I noticed.
Oh, goodness. Hey, look, I'm just going to be honest with y'all. You've had a week. I'm ready to talk Superman.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have to talk some Superman, no doubt.
And you definitely want to stick around because I'm going to be talking Fantastic Four First Steps also.
Tots, what's up, brother? All right, excellent. Super glad to see you. Everybody that's watching, sound off in the chat. Let us know you're here, and let's get cracking here. First things first. We had Laserbeak. Best name. I freaking love that. That's so good. Well done. Um, did we get caught by the vault blind box fiasco? I don't even know what that is, so I'm going to say no.
I didn't even know Vault had enough comics to do a blind box.
Yeah, well, maybe the blind box is something that Diamond is putting together to sell off all the merchandise that they are illegally holding and selling. Yeah,
I mean,
maybe that's it.
Is it illegal? Possession is 9/10 of the law.
It's not theirs. They've been asked to return it. So, yeah, they have contracts, right? It's in writing. They have contracts of who it belongs to, and it does not belong to Diamond.
Honestly, these people need to. I don't understand why they were not pulling out as soon as all this stuff got started.
Well, there aren't a whole lot of options for some of these guys. You can we're pulling out from Diamond, but that doesn't mean that anywhere else will take you. So there's a whole lot of publishers that don't have a distributor right now. Devil's Due, for example, no distributor.
Well, I mean, all it takes is UPS, FedEx, and a can-do attitude.
And the ability for customers to get to you and for retailers to be able to get to you and to offer the retailers a discount that makes it worthwhile for them to carry your product. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
You have to have that volume. And there is a new distribution channel that's trying to start up called Philbo, Philbo. And they've got quite a few of the smaller press publishers, but the problem is the wholesale price that retailers can get plus shipping means that retailers can't be profitable selling their books. It's just not even possible.
Well, maybe it's time for Haven to branch out into Haven distribution where the indies play.
While I love that conceptually, I can't even get my butt to the post office. That ain't happening.
But did you know that in the year 2025, you can schedule pickups?
Yeah, I'm not that technologically advanced when it comes to the postal service. If for anybody that missed it last week, we had Jeff Johnson on. He was the artist on Wonder Man comics back in the day. He drew Fantastic Four back in the day. He was at CrossGen where he was the artist on a comic called Way of the Rat, which was a very Jackie Chan style drunken master sort of a story. It was amazing. Oh, look who we got in the house. Aaron!
What up, Aaron?
Aaron, we're going to be talking about Superman a lot tonight. If you want to join, let me know and I'll shoot you a code. Anyway, we've had Jeff Johnson on a few times, and he's amazing. You guys, never mind his artistic skills and his storytelling skills and world building skills. he's just a great human being, right? He's just an awesome guy. So we're super happy to be able to support him. But if you missed it last week, issue number 3 of Rogue's Kingdom. Now, number 2 is being kickstarted right now, and was funded and all that, so it is going to happen. In issue number 3, Alan and I are going to show up. And not just like maybe. He showed us the art last week on the show. And
there is no doubt that it is you and I.
I mean, none whatsoever. None whatsoever. That is very clearly us. What's more, now I realize it's going to get shrunk down because that's how it works in comics, right? They draw big and then it gets shrunk down. But what's more is that looked like that was going to be a pretty sizable panel.
Yep.
I mean, that wasn't. I sent that to you on Facebook, Aaron. So, okay, this is legit. I have to say, 100% legit. If you go back and look at one of the recent Superman covers where it's a younger Superman, he looks an awful lot like Aaron on the cover. It's like, I've never seen Aaron and Superman in the same place at the same time. So, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, check your Facebook messages. I just sent it to you on there, Aaron.
Okay, and now we'll wait till Aaron comes on to start talking about the movie. But
But let's just talk about this picture of us. We look amazing. It looks like us. And so all of you have to buy, absolutely must purchase Rogue's Kingdom number 3, which will be coming out probably in 5 or 6 months, I would say, maybe a little less. It's super exciting. We are going to be in a comic book. How cool is that, Alan?
I am going to see if I can find that spot in the...
We're going to be guards at a magical library. Inside this magical library will be housed in this city. Don't know what building in that city. I guarantee you that Jeff Johnson and James Robinson could tell us. But Alan and I are going to be guards at the front door in front of this city. Furthermore, I have to say kudos to you, Alan, because I'm pretty confident that we sold him on the Where's Arlo?
Save Arlo?
As a thing to do and to hide Arlo in all the pages or in all the books going forward. I think visually this is the first time I will have been in a comic. I have been, I've supported comics. I've had my name in comics, but I think this is the first time you will see me in a comic. And it's pretty spectacular, I gotta say.
Yeah, honestly, it was bizarre enough when Monsters #1 came out and I saw my name in the book. That was like kind of surreal. But then to actually see artwork and my likeness is going to be, and in a good book on top of that. I mean, just all joking aside, Rogue's Kingdom #1 was a fun read.
It was such really a great book. Fun. I've read #2 now. Jeff sent me a preview copy of #2. And #2 just picks right up and the action is rolling. #1 was a slow book by comparison.
Really?
Yeah, by comparison, it was a slow book because #2 picks up a head of steam and it goes fast. If so, I am unaware of it, and I would love to be made aware of it. If you think of one, let me know because I will check it out.
I was trying to scan last week's episode so I could grab a screenshot of.
Oh, good call, good call. While you do that, I will go ahead and bring to the stage none other than the one, the only Superman.
That was a crazy joke. Thank you. That's sweet. Hi. That really caught me off guard. I was like so ready to do like a little like Lex Luthor hand, and that just wow. Hi.
Well, I got to tell you, I showed you that cover when it was first solicited of that looks like you as Superman on the cover. Then I sent you the picture. Every time I see it, I'm like, gosh, that's Aaron. What is Aaron doing?
I showed my mom that photo yesterday because she went to see it, or she saw Superman with me on her birthday, and she was like pretty floored. I'm not doing this for a comparison. This is just for the sake of the audience.
Well, do it again side by side because that's very much. Well, hold the phone closer because
depth of perception is a little messy. Yeah,
that's you. I mean, get out of here with that. That's you.
That's very sweet.
That's the new issue, isn't it?
Very much. What's that?
That's the new issue, isn't it?
Yeah, brand new. And it looks just like Aaron. It freaks me out. And then I think I've never seen them both in the same place at the same time.
I mean, honestly, I may have to get that issue and just get Aaron to sign it.
Oh, what? I don't know what I'm doing with the compliments. What do I do?
Exactly, James. It's the same hair. It's the glasses. It's everything.
Yeah.
It's him.
That's me.
For all that Alan wants to tell people that's me on the inside first page of Monsters #1.
Well, I mean, it is.
That's not nice. That's not nice.
That clearly is you on the cover of that book.
I mean, he even drew him like one of his pretty French girls.
There you go. Speaking of monsters, I was up at the shop at 11 o'clock today because Channel 19 was at the shop to interview Mark Spears. And that was pretty great. I got to hear some things from Mark that I had never heard before. That was interesting. And while we were filming, this guy, somebody came walking up to the door. Now, this is an hour before we open. And I was standing right in front of the door, and Tom is gesturing to me like somebody's about to come in the door. And then he knocked, and I was like, oh my God, they're filming and he's knocking on the door. But if I open the door, it's going to ding dong, all this stuff, right? I thought, well, there's no help for it. So I just did it. And I stepped outside to talk to the guy, and he's from out of town. And he just saw the cars in front of the shop and's like, well, I don't think they're open, but there's cars. I'm going to stop by. And I was like, I was about to like, so sorry, come back later. He's from out of town. He probably doesn't have later. I said, come on in if you want. And he's like, okay. So he just stepped in the front door and he just stood there right in front of the front door watching this interview with Mark. And he was mesmerized. He was just like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing. Yeah. This is so great. And he hung out for a solid hour. It was pretty great. Mark ended up giving him a comic, a Monsters book, and signed it for him. It was pretty cool.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, that was great. Mark is a great dude.
Oh,
and I did tell Mark that true to form, we brought him and his comic up to Jeff Johnson last week when we had Jeff on. We were talking about Mark. And that man was Stanley. That's right. The reincarnation of Stanley.
So this is about as good as I can pull up right now.
I love this. I love this so much.
I know there's another shot toward the end, but I'm trying to find that one.
I love the outfits. Alan,
yeah, that's us in Rogue's Kingdom #3, which is a heisty, fun fantasy book by Jeff Johnson and James Robinson. It's a little bit grainy and such, but you tell me that's not me and Alan.
Look at your reactions in the corner. Oh my God. How special is that?
I'll see if I can find the other shot.
We're doing reaction videos now. It's great.
Yeah, really.
Reaction videos to our own videos. That's the best part.
Oh yeah. Something for the time capsule.
But yeah, I do appreciate. I have to slip Jeff Johnson a few extra bucks because he slimmed me down a little bit. I think I look a little bit thinner there. That's right. He caught our good side. But we talked to him just joking, and we're like, well, you should put us in, because he told us that he uses pictures of all of his old studio mates and buddies, like doing all kinds of stuff, like swinging baseball bats and driving cars. He said if you look at his comics, he puts them everywhere because he uses those reference photos of all of his friends. I was like, we'll send you a ton of reference photos. Don't you worry. So Alan and I are going to get a bunch of props, and we're going to like chop some wood and punch each other in the face, and kick up dust and whatever else we can think of. And we're just going to shoot him a whole bunch of pictures so he can use us for reference and go.
Yeah, really. Anytime he wants to, he's more than welcome to.
That's so
You'll have to pose in your gray your gray sweatpants and just sitting in the chair in your lawn. Like,
let me tell you what, I will do that in a heartbeat. There is nothing. I'm already practicing for my time when I enter the old folks' home. I will be sitting at home in gray sweatpants, a gray t-shirt, white socks, and slides, just flipping channels, and it is the greatest thing ever.
I thought
you had me until you said slides. What the heck are slides?
The sandals that don't have the toe clutch in the middle. It's just like one band. Yeah.
Okay. Hashtag not a sponsor. Oh.
Like flip-flops without the flip.
Yep. Yeah. And they just slide right on. I love them.
Fair enough.
You know in Deadpool 1 where he comes walking in and he takes his shoes off and he puts his Crocs on and he goes, that's me every day when I get home in my slides. Shoes come off, feet automatically go in the slides.
Love it.
Fair enough. So now that we're done reliving our excitement from last week's awesome, we knew that he was going to do it, but we weren't expecting him. We weren't expecting him to show us the art. Like, we didn't think the art would be ready for another 6 months. So when he pulled that artwork out and showed us, we're like, oh my God, that's amazing.
That's love.
Absolutely. Go for gold. Alan and I will both sign it.
Please. I want one too. Get me in on this.
Send that off to CGC post haste.
Sign me up for the trade too.
Get you that 9.8 gold label book that says Alan and Josh.
Yeah. Or better yet,
Haven's very exclusive.
Just so it's us, if it's a really good page, like a quarter panel or something, buy 2 copies, rip 1 copy in half to where that's the only thing that shows is Josh and I. Send that to CGC and get
your 0.5. But we'll be showing on the front. There you go.
That's sweet.
Of course, it all depends on which direction that page is facing.
Come on, I want the variant cover. I want Bardic Josh.
What I might do? What I might do is I might talk to Jeff and see about getting a Haven exclusive cover. It seems like the thing to do.
It is.
Right?
It is.
So you've got Firearm number 1, I would assume, because that one had Bill and Eric both in it. Yeah, that'd be pretty great.
That's so fun.
So let's talk a little bit about Superman.
Let's do it.
First of all, do we have Posey in here tonight? Because he texted me earlier, like, what, no shop talk? Because I forgot to send out invites. But let me make sure he's on.
While he's doing that, on the subject of including people in your projects of like their little cameo in the comic book, there is a cameo from a Superman crew member in the movie. He gets a line of dialogue. It's their second AD. Mm-hmm. His name is Pez. It's like a shortened form of his last name, which I am forgetting at the moment. But when Superman lands in the pothole in Metropolis and the citizens are bringing him out, there's like one citizen who's like kind of criticizing him, and that's Pez. That's the second AD.
In all fairness, he didn't land in a pothole.
He made a pothole.
Created the hole.
He made a pothole
from the impact. Yeah, but he's in it, and then
it's more of a crater.
Yeah, and when Jimmy Olsen is going through his phone, some of the names are crew members.
Fantastic.
Yeah, pretty fun. I love when he does stuff like that.
So let's talk some Superman. For anybody who has not seen it, there was this character created by DC Comics back in 1938. Mm-hmm. And they said, let's call that guy Superman. And so that's what they did. And it's pretty great. Yeah, it's a little bit better of a picture.
That's about the best shot of it.
I'm still trying to figure out what the heck face that is I'm making.
There's a little like smug stink face.
That had to be the shot where we were literally just standing beside the shop, and
I look like I'm yelling something like, "Hey!"
And we were just standing there beside each other.
Do you have dialogue in it? Do you know?
We have no idea.
We have no clue.
I can't.
Although we may have convinced him that he needs 2 completely bungling guards at this magical library to draw more often.
We mentioned Superman, and our viewers just like tanked. They're like, hadn't seen it yet.
No, come on now. Have you guys seriously not seen this movie yet? It's only one of the most anticipated movies in years.
Don't be civil. We don't spoil crazy.
No, we're not going to spoil anything crazy.
There were.
We could talk about this movie for an hour without ever talking about the plot at all.
Yeah, and honestly, there was, and Josh and I talked about it just for a brief second after the movie. The scene on the front porch with his dad.
Yeah.
His dad stole the whole movie in one line. And it was just the way he delivered that one line. It was like,
that's how you do it.
Yeah, I mean, he did it. I mean, that was one of those, I was just shocked.
If I remember,
he delivered that.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, he didn't audition anybody for Podkent. Like, he just offered it to Pruitt immediately. Like, he was the first person that James thought of.
Well, see, and here's the thing about it. I did not realize that was him. Mm-hmm. And because it didn't look anything like him, with the beard and everything.
Yep.
And I was like, who is that guy? And then when I realized that it was the Unaliver from Identity, I was like, oh my God, he's such a good actor. Yeah. And I loved him in Identity, what little bit of time he was in that movie.
Mm-hmm. And then the actress that plays Martha is a local from here in Georgia. And the Smallville farm is here in Georgia. It's in LaGrange. Yeah, it was very sweet, but has a very big social media presence now. I mean, comparatively, and now she's like really excited. She's commenting on like everybody that mentions Ma Kent, and it's the cutest thing.
Should we bring her on the show?
Her leaning over and yelling.
What?
Her leaning over and yelling into the phone on the coffee table was hysterical. It was great. That movie had just the right amount of humor.
Uh-huh. So yeah, let's talk about it. First things first. We can talk about that.
J'accuse.
I don't think Alan was mean to you so much as Alan assumed that you would have your usual response to the movie.
I didn't think that was a mean comment.
You just assumed he was going to hate it. And
no,
we were all pleasantly surprised that you didn't.
No, I assumed that Nick was going to pull his usual. Nick was going to love it, but he was going to come out trashing it because he knew that we loved it.
Okay, that's a total Nick thing. Yes.
Yeah.
So brother energy. That's
yes. Yeah. 100%. But let's talk about the movie. Start with a couple of basic generalized observations, right? If for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, if you've ever read a Silver Age comic book and you thought that was goofy, but I loved it, this is your movie. It feels like a Silver Age comic book. We all remember the poster, one of the first images they released for the movie, which is him sitting on the chair, like pulling on his boots while you've got this glowy, ephemeral thing out there. And the absolute impression that you get is he's like, gotta go fight this thing. And he pulls his boots on and he's going to go out and fight the thing. And it's such a curveball in the movie that what that thing is out there is completely inconsequential, and he never even goes near it.
Yeah.
And I love that. I thought that was great.
I thought that was great too. The other scene that we have all seen is the trailer, right, where he crashes into the snow, and he's laying there all beat up and broken, and he can't move, and he just whistles for Crypto, and Crypto comes and gets him, and you're like, okay, well that's a pretty big reveal for how there's something bad toward the end of the movie. That's the very first thing that happens.
First thing.
There's a Star Wars crawl that says, here we are. We're not starting back with a spaceship leaving Krypton. We're starting and things already going on. He's already established. And oh, by the way, boom, in the snow.
It really does read like a previously on in like another issue of like the book that this would be set in. Like it really is like starting an issue 2 in a way that I appreciate a lot. It's just
right. We all know his origin. We don't need to see it again.
Yep.
I thought that was a smart plan. I thought that was a smart play.
Yeah, 4 sentences.
So if you take the stuff that you saw in the previews, unlike a lot of times where the previews give you the entire story, Captain America: Brave New World, the previews don't do that for this movie. The previews that you see are of completely inconsequential moments within the movie. It doesn't show you anything important.
I would say the last trailer only uses footage from the first 30 minutes.
Yeah,
if that helps at all.
Yeah, it doesn't spoil anything for you. Mm-hmm. You think you know what's happening. You do not. The trailers are misleading in that regard in a really good way. So thank God for that. 2, again, we already talked about the Silver Age kind of feel of it. But 2, the characterization, right? It doesn't matter how great the plot is if the characters aren't true to who the comic book characters are. And these characters are so accurate to the spirit of the character. Clark Kent Superman, the spirit of Clark Kent Superman, what he should be, what he represents, what he aspires to be, and what he causes other people to aspire to be. That's what Superman is supposed to be. Not a dark god who lets other people kneel to him, not a guy who's breaking people's necks, not a guy who's just angry. He is what Superman should be. And the color scheme of the costume, the brightness of it, all speaks to that. And then you get Ma and Pa Kent. You get Lois Lane. You get freaking Lex Luthor, Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, Jimmy Olsen, Perry White, Cat Grant. You get these people. Some of them you see more than others, more of them than others in the movie, but they are really good to the spirit of the character and who those characters should be. From that point, if you got that right, the rest of the plot doesn't matter so much.
Is this summoning Mr. Terrific? Is that what this is?
No. I need a brief time out.
That would be amazing if that worked, though. So
it would be. I just need a brief time out and just a slight moment of silence for how friggin' hot Cat Grant was in this movie. Sorry. I got to put it out there in the universe. I'm sending it out into the universe. Hopefully it'll come back to me one day. My goodness, I did not realize that woman was that gorgeous. You may continue.
She's in every single James Gunn movie, by the way. If you want to go back and revisit them, keep an eye out for her. We love Michaela.
I know, but in the end, knowing how bitchy Cat Grant can be just made her even hotter, anticipating that in later movies.
Yeah, she was really nice and civil in this one. She that was maybe the kindest Cat Grant we've ever gotten on film.
Josh wants to say something so bad, but he doesn't know what to say.
No, that is accurate on both counts. Anyway, we were talking about being true to the characters themselves. Do you guys agree, disagree? What are your thoughts?
The only thing that okay, so 2 things on that. One, at first I did not like it, but the more I thought about it, I liked that we got a Ma and Pa Kent that was more, as Nick put it, salt of the earth.
Yeah.
They were a lot more, they weren't like these wise, sage-like, benevolent people that, you know, we've seen throughout all the years of Ma and Pa Kent.
Just good regular folks.
Yeah, they were just regular folks. My only thing was, and he did an amazing job as Lex Luthor, but there were just some parts of Lex Luthor to me that seemed more maniacal than what Lex actually is. And I like the version of Lex Luthor that is all business 100% of the time. But that's just a personal thing.
That's fair.
But I mean, there just kind of seemed like there were a couple of scenes where I was watching, especially there toward the end when he was kind of basically losing it a little bit, that I was like, Lex never really would lose it like this. But I mean, that was just me. Now, then there was other stuff where the continually knocking the cup off, I thought was hysterical because that was something petty that Lex Luthor would do.
Yes, it was.
He was such like a cat. He was just like a mean cat, like doing it just to make people mad.
He just kept knocking that cup off.
He's like a cat.
That owned me, by the way. I mean, literally owned me.
It was so good in the moment because he's got this delivery that's while he's simultaneously doing this like very flippant with the cup. Yeah, no, it's great. I get what you mean about Lex Luthor being more emotional and driven by things that aren't necessarily logical or his best interest. And I agree with that. I can see that, but it didn't bother me in this context because of what he was representing and the way that he was represented. He had a focus so much on this one thing that's what was driving him. And when there's a moment where he's saying something and then Superman says something, and what Superman replies back to him is the thesis of the entire movie.
Yep.
It's the entire movie is summed up right there. And you had to have Lex come at it with the attitude that he did and the focus that he did and the prejudice that he brought to it for that scene to work. And because it worked so beautifully, I think it was well worth the slight alteration of focus for Lex.
And at the end of when Clark does finish that thesis statement, Lex immediately retorts back, having not heard a single thing he says, with, "I know that, you patronizing clown." Like, he knows exactly who he is in that moment, because my justification for it, because Alan, like, I do agree, but I think the reason maybe internally is that this is a much younger version of Lex than we're used to seeing. Like, Clark has only been Superman for 3 years at this point.
3 years.
And this is really the first time that we're seeing Lex Luthor have a actionable plan to get rid of him.
Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all, but Kaiser Jose is killing me.
Oh, dear
That's
God.
the best name. Oh, that is like up there for names. Fellers. That is beautiful. So oh, my God.
That's fun. Fellers. What's up, Kaiser Jose?
Kaiser Jose. That's brilliant. Yeah, I kind of agree. The suit's a little clunkier. It's more squared off in the shoulders, and the material looks a bit thicker, and that kind of thing than what Jim Aparo or Neil Adams would have drawn.
What the hate,
but
I like the fact that the suit actually looked just a little more homemade.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, to me I think it was supposed to look clunky just for the homemade aspect of it.
Yeah.
Now, and I'm not going to give any spoiler. You do find out who is in the Ultraman mask. I think that we did have a missed opportunity. I think that Ultraman should have been, and I understand the story they were telling, but I think you could have done a lot of fan service, which every once in a while you got to do fan service. Is if Ultraman would have turned out to be either Henry Cavill or Tom Welling.
Oh God, no.
I think it would have been great fan service.
Not the place.
Yeah, see, and I think that would have been the perfect place. But see, Here's my big question, and I think I can ask this question without spoiling anything. With what happens to Ultraman and where he ends up, do we open up a potential Justice Lords down the road?
Well, I think you open up something else maybe a little bit.
Do tell.
Well, I can't go into it without spoiling things, so I'll tell you later.
Okay.
So there is a lot more that is planned for the DCU that we don't know about at all yet. If they do build to like a League film with like a big group of all of the characters, which I don't know if that would be the immediate focus. That doesn't really look like, on my eyes, like the thing that's being planned, at least within the next like 5-6 years. But I would be really personally be more interested in like a Legion of Doom kind of thing, where it is a coalition of the stories that we're already doing, instead of like these characters then meeting the big bad that they have to face, like it being a coalition of all of the collective sins of the characters throughout the films.
Well, I do know that two things that come out over the weekend. One was James Gunn. A lot of people were referencing that mural that's on the wall.
Yes.
And James Gunn did come out and say that one of those members of the Justice Society is being portrayed by an A-list actor. But apparently there's only a couple of people that know who it is.
I'll just tell you this right now.
It's a great movie.
Don't listen to... Form your own opinion. The opinions you're getting on this show are 100% positive. I thought this movie was spectacularly done. You walk out of it with like a sense of hope for the future. If people could be like that, it's an optimistic, uplifting film. And it's fantastic. It just absolutely made me happy. I'm going to see it at the theater again, which I haven't done that with a movie in a long time. It's just so good. I believe this is 130,000% BS. I don't think there's any credence to this whatsoever. So yeah, no, that's total BS.
Yeah, it's one of those we'll just have to wait and see.
If it's in any consolation, I've seen Superman 3 times in the last 7 days, and I'm still like, I love this movie.
Well, Damon Hawk saw the movie 5 times in 5 days.
That's insane, and I love him for that.
Actually, Nick is the one that called it out in our group chat the other night.
Yeah.
It is literally the best superhero movie we've had since Endgame. And I mean, they're setting everything up, and that was the other thing that came out.
Hang on. Dude, get over it, man.
Yeah.
They're saving Nora and Rad for something later, because guarantee you Shia LaBeouf's dying in this movie.
We'll have to wait and see.
You don't put Galactus. You don't do a movie set in an alternate universe with Galactus as the villain unless you want to show Galactus actually eating the planet. That's my only thought.
You know what? Since it's been brought up, I'll just go ahead and throw this out there, and we'll dig deeper into it later on. Where's it at? If the movie is anything like this,
hang on.
Fantastic Four.
I did read Fantastic Four First Steps. I do not feel like there's any spoiler for the movie in here because it is literally a prequel. It is a brief, this is how they are, this is how they got their powers, this is how they were introduced to the public. I didn't see anything in here that comes even remotely close to the stuff that was in the trailer. If the movie is anything like this book, prepare for another disappointing Marvel movie. That's just, I mean, that's literally all I'm going to say about it.
That was such a build-up to the just like jab at the end.
This was nothing. What they should have done.
Well, let's go back. Let's go back and unpack this for a second, though.
They should have done.
Back. Hang on. Put that down. You go back to any movie you've ever seen, any Marvel movie you've ever seen, the comic book prequel that they put out for it, which they do a lot.
Yep.
100% of the time are terrible.
And
not once does it reflect the movie at all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still going to the movie. I'm still going to go check everything out. Bug wants to see it. We're going to have a daddy-daughter date. We're going to go see the movie. But so far, based off of what's in that comic book and the way the characters are being portrayed, yeah, no, I'm not as excited for the movie as I was beforehand.
What about the trailers? Like the trailers should be the basis of conversation for that.
I know. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. We'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, I'll be going to see the movie opening weekend. I mean, I will let y'all know my full thoughts on it after that. But as of right now,
do not listen to this nonsense. He's basing his opinion off of what is guaranteed to be a garbage comic book. Movie prequel comics are 100% of the time terrible.
Alan is truly a trusted source. Have I steered y'all wrong on one comic book in how long we've been doing this show?
This isn't a comic book you're steering people on. You're steering them on a movie based on a comic book.
No, I said that if the movie is anything like the comic book, prepare for disappointment.
You did.
That's all I said.
It's the WandaVision director. They're not going to mess that up. No. Come on.
That's a fair point right there.
Yep.
Oh, one thing about Fantastic Four, though, that did break the news this week.
Every time you say it, you have to sing it.
Fantastic Four. John Malkovich got cut from the movie. He's not in it anymore.
I saw that. That was ridiculous.
Who was he supposed to be playing?
Red Ghost. The villain from the 60s.
Wow. Yeah, that one didn't pan out there, did it? Sorry about that.
Sorry. Well,
everybody was looking forward to that movie. Speaking of Green Lantern.
Yeah, Mark Strong is Sinestro. Come on.
Nobody else. I mean, I was so disappointed when I found out that Nathan Fillion was not going to be Hal Jordan, because I've always
he would have made a great Hal Jordan.
But to be honest with you, after seeing him as Guy Gardner, there's nobody else that could have done Guy Gardner the way he did. I mean, just perfection.
You know, I hate Guy Gardner. I've always hated Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner is meant to be hated. And therefore, he succeeds brilliantly as Guy Gardner.
He really does.
There's like the one scene that I think epitomizes him so well is the scene with like on the battlefield.
Fight.
Oh, and then like the little kid is like begging for Superman, and then a green box just appears around him, and Guy Gardner descends from the heaven. He's like, "Sorry, kid, Superman can't make it, but guess what? You got an upgrade." Like, my God.
And honestly, you know, a lot of people were saying that they were cramming too many characters into this movie. That would have been the perfect scene to introduce even more characters, just to kind of give you a little bit of a taste.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, they could have dragged that scene out just a little bit more instead of Guy Gardner just kind of. I'm trying not to actually do what Guy Gardner was doing, but
yeah, I think it's too important to the thesis of the movie, though, because Superman's absence in that scene and the other superheroes' presence in it, in his place, like, is part of how you're kind of witnessing his impact on the world.
No, what I'm saying is you could have had like your Wildcat show up. You could have had Stargirl show. I think you could have had several of them in there.
More than 3 characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have been confused. I would have been like, it would have distracted me, I think.
Yeah. So there is another character that was introduced in the movie, another superhero that I was not expecting at all. And frankly, it's a character that I don't think works very well on the comic book page, and I thought would certainly never, under any circumstances, work in a movie or on television. But goodness gracious, if I was not proven 100% wrong, Metamorpho is in this movie, and Metamorpho is awesome.
Yep. Oh, Laserbeak, technically they are in the movie because of the mural that's in the Hall of Justice. I mean, Alan, the mural literally showed all those characters.
So Alan and I watched the movie together, right? We took off late on a Friday afternoon. We went to watch the movie. And when the Hall of Justice pops up on the screen, what did I do, Alan?
Started hitting me in the leg.
I'm like, yeah! I was so excited. It took me right back to like 1979, 1980, in the Hall of Justice in the cartoon.
Meanwhile at the Hall of Justice.
Oh, yes. I mean, it was perfect because it looked just like it. I mean,
it was gorgeous.
No, it's the real building. It's the real building that they based the Hall of Justice on for the cartoon.
I would have to say, out of the entire movie, the only thing that truly got on my nerves that I could have done less with, I could have done.
Don't you talk bad about Gary?
Was living. No, I'm not going to talk bad about Gary because Gary's a great name. Was how much Hawk Girl screamed during the battles.
I liked it.
I kind of thought the first couple of times it was cool, but then it was like, maybe you should save that for an actual battle cry, like just before you're about to tag somebody.
Mr. Terrific was pretty fantastic, I have to say. I liked him a lot. And there are a couple of things I liked about him that might not be the obvious kind of things you would think about. One of which is that human beings in 2025 can see a character who calls himself Mr. Terrific and say, I really like that dude.
Mm-hmm. He's cool. We like him.
Yeah. You shouldn't like somebody who calls themselves Mr. Terrific. That bodes well for Mr. Fantastic.
It does.
He's got a shot. Maybe people will not be like, what kind of an arrogant jerk is this dude, Mr. Fantastic? And he calls his best friend the Thing? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I don't know, but Mr. Terrific was phenomenal. I loved it. And he was a decent wrestler. That's a different dude, but I love it. I like where your brain is at.
Yep.
That was a good time back in the day. Yes. Yeah, Mr. Terrific is pretty amazing in this show. I thought it really did a good job of showing how smart he is, how creative he is, how he's able to pivot and address problems as they arise. Go back to the trailer real quick. We all see the giant kaiju in the trailer, right? And we're like, okay, is this the big bad thing? Is this giant kaiju? There you go. There you go.
The action figure.
Where did you find that at?
It's at Target. And then you can hit him in the jaw with the Superman that comes with it. And
oh, that's not right.
That is funny right there.
That is not right.
It comes with goo, so it can bleed.
Oh,
that is awesome.
No, that is not right.
That's horrible. I love this thing so much.
That's just not right. Oh my goodness. And it comes with goo so he can bleed. Oh my Lord. Wow. But you look at the things, and this goes back to them with the misdirects plot wise, right? In the preview, you see the giant, or in the trailer, you see the giant kaiju, and you're like, oh my Lord, this must be part of the big finale. Nope, not at all.
This is a Tuesday.
Some important things happen in that scene, but it's just a Tuesday.
Yeah. I love the pacing of this movie when it will like cut in between like the night before something happens and then the morning and something happens. Like literally it's you get like a little bit of something with Lex, and then you see Clark like the night before, and then when you get a dialogue with Lex, and when you cut back to Clark, it's like the middle of the day, and Clark is just catching the foot of the giant thing. Like no exposition, no nothing. Just this is what his life is like. And I love it so much. It's so fun. It's so fun.
And another thing that I liked about Mr. Terrific was truly his lack of personality. His lack of personality gave him so much personality.
The thing that I really got very baffled by in a way that I really appreciate is that you have the nerd smart character who knows the answer and the science behind everything that is happening. And at no point is he like throwing all of the sci-fi vocab at you to make himself sound smart. He's just like, yeah, I know how to handle this problem. And then he goes and handles it. And that's it. There's like no apologetic, no like, well, if I have to explain it to you, like there's none of that kind of arrogance. It's just a complete comfort in his capability that I found very refreshing.
I mean, his only true moment where he, to me, like he showed real personality was there at the end, and that was the "I'm GD, Mr. Terrific."
When he just grabs Sydney's face and just shoves him away, like, get out of here! I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
All right, so
mush.
This is a really good point. Don't ever remember seeing Superman bleed that much before. You're absolutely right. Superman is very depowered from what we have seen in recent years.
Ooh. Is that from year one? That feels like a year one sentence. I like that.
But yeah, Superman is very depowered from what we have seen in the past. And I think it makes for a better Superman, honestly, because if he's completely invulnerable and nothing can hurt him, then there's no consequence. And stories without consequence have no point. There has to be consequence. It's not a sacrifice if it doesn't cost you anything, right? So when he goes out there and he stands between a little girl and a kaiju or a falling building or whatever else, it's not pleasant. It hurts him. And there's a price that he pays, but he's willing to pay it. And I think it's really helpful to have a Superman that's not all powerful. I think Superman is plenty powerful. Don't get me wrong. Because it's also clear that he's pulling his punches. That was very clear. He is pulling his punches until he realizes against this particular person, if I pull my punches, I'm dead, and I can't. I'm not going to hurt this particular person, so I'm just going to wail on him. At which point he does. But yeah, I think the lower power level for Superman is really critical to telling a great Superman story. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, even go back to Braden Routh's Superman. If that Superman was in this movie, the movie would not have been 2 hours. It would have been 45 minutes. He would have just wiped everything out and went on about his business. You know, I mean, I think that they spent way too much time in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s making him this all-powerful character. And it's time to back down his power level.
Well, I think what they did was when they made him more and more and more powerful, they also stripped away a lot of his humanity. I think they neglected to focus on why he's doing what he's doing. And this movie does an admirable job of, they took away some powers, but they increased the transparency of his motivation and the heart and what it is that makes him who he is and why he's doing what he's doing. And I'll take that trade-off any day.
Absolutely. And it doesn't even really, like, to me, feel like it was depowered. Even like the way that I was viewing it was through a lens of, this is the system of how his powers actually function. These are the things he's vulnerable to. These are the things that is not. There's still like a wear and tear on his physical body. Like if he gets hurt and there is no sunlight, it takes him a time to recharge. Like, so you kind of understand the system of how he functions. So it's not just all powerful all of the time. Like he's a biological body that needs to rest. And that doesn't take away from like the capability of his strength, but that's just like the system that he lives in. And they did a really good job of introducing that system and then putting him in the conditions that would challenge it, like the scene with Metamorpho, for example.
Well, maybe okay. I've said depowered several times. That may not be the right word. He's not the overpowered version that we've been getting.
Yeah, he's not like untouchable. Yeah.
I mean, who's able to leap tall buildings in a single bound? I mean, Superman couldn't fly originally. He would just jump forever high, in the original incarnation of Superman.
Jump forever.
Yeah. But, he's faster. It's a speeding train, all this stuff. Okay. Those are the measures you're going to go by. This dude is definitely all that.
Yeah.
But he's not the fly around the planet backwards so fast you turn back time.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, the very beginning of the movie does tell us that he's only been Superman for 3 years.
Yeah.
So he's still a very young Superman, so to speak, compared to what we have in the comic books. That doesn't mean that they can't slowly start ramping up his strength and everything over the next, say, 5, 6, 7 movies. They can actually build upon this Superman, and that's another reason why I liked it so much.
I thought the 3-year parallel was an interesting one when you start looking at, and this is certainly not the first time. Heck, the most recent Superman movie had that moment of Superman arms outstretched like he's on a cross. There was this very Christ-like association. Yeah. And then here it's a similar association, but a very, very different one. You have the 3-year timeline, which was the same timeline as Jesus on, right? Biblically. So you have this 3-year timeline, but instead of focusing on I'm the powerful, it was on doing good and doing the right thing. And I just thought it was really brilliantly done. I really did.
I saw a really interesting comparison between Superman and Star-Lord, talking about like James's filmography and how like understanding Peter Quill's psychology as a farm boy who was raised by aliens, and how that informs the writing of Superman being an alien raised by farm people. Like, that's
interesting.
And I was like, it's such an interesting dichotomy, because you do kind of see them in parallel. I never would have thought of that on my own call, but I'm like, yeah, it really is, because Quill was able to find his humanity, but he found it in groups of like-minded people, and like as a voice of pragmatism amidst the chaos of his life, because that was everything he's ever known. And whereas with Clark, like, he is the calm of the storm, and everyone with all the calamity around him is able to like look to him as a symbol of like, I can exhale, I'm safe. Whereas Quill had to like really, really nail that into people. Like, I love that.
That's fascinating. I never would have thought of that.
It really makes me want to rewatch Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
But you know what? Guardians of the Galaxy doesn't have tweeting monkeys.
The Rage Monkeys?
The Rage Monkeys. That was so great.
Yeah, that was really great.
Do you know that he even trolled him? James Gunn even trolled himself in the movie. Somebody was they were looking at all the stuff that the monkeys tweeted. This got posted over the weekend, and one of the Rage Monkeys tweeted, "New Superman sucks. I prefer Man of Steel."
That's hilarious.
And I was like, only James Gunn would have the guts to do something like that.
Just for you, Kaylisa, Puddin just came in, and a moment ago she came in and said hello.
Mason's been trying to get on camera this whole time, but I go to reach for him and then he runs away. I'm trying to make it happen.
It'll make Kaylisa happy. It's the highlight of any show when a cat shows up.
I'm so overjoyed at this. Like, I'm very young. Like, I've not witnessed a lot of cinematic Superman. I think there have only been 3 in my lifetime, and
only been 3.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
such a funny thing to say.
Like Routh, Cavill, and Corn Sweat, where I'm like, even like me as a very small child, like watching like the DCAU like Bruce Timm cartoons of Superman, would then watch the live action movies and be like, this feels wrong and like it's missing something. And then with Cavill, the question being, what did it miss? The point. Like, that's what it is. But like this one, I really, not to dog, but a little bit. This one really does just feel like the Superman that I'm familiar with and the version of the character that I love that a lot of people of my generation have never ever seen before, because they're used to seeing homages or parodies of Superman in this very dark and gritty nihilistic worldview. And to have a Superman so thoroughly embrace optimism and hope and actual hope and actually mourn the people that he can't save and move a squirrel out of harm's way for the sake of preserving life and putting himself in harm's way simply because other people are going to be in danger. And that's the only reason. Like, that is the reason to do something. I love that. I haven't seen that on film ever.
See, to me, Superman to me always has been and always will be Christopher Reeve. That's just when I grew up.
Yeah.
But watching this version of Superman, and I didn't really and truly start appreciating George Reeves until I got older.
Yeah.
But watching this version of Superman, it's almost like a hybrid between George Reeves Superman and Christopher Reeves Superman, because there were battles, there were things that they had to do, especially the Christopher Reeves Superman facing Zod and everybody. Mm-hmm. But he still always had hope. He was always doing it because it was the right thing. The George Reeves Superman, it was the right thing, and it come across as fun to him. So that right there, it's almost like this new Superman is a cross between those two for me, and I loved it. I thought it was great.
Also, like the scene of Lois and Clark like on the balcony in the Chris Reeve, like in the first of the Chris Reeve films, like is one of the best Superman scenes ever. And this movie has a very direct answer to it. A very direct answer to that scene with a bit of a modernization and giving Lois a little bit more of, I don't want to say journalistic integrity, but I don't know what else to say. And I think that's my favorite scene in the movie.
If I were to, any negatives that I have about this movie, I think can be summed up in exactly what Nick just said. You don't see a lot of Clark Kent. You don't see a lot of journalist Clark Kent.
Oh,
you don't see it. You don't see that. And, it's okay. You get just enough to know it's there, but not enough to really buy it. That would be my one takeaway. Like if I had a note, would be give me an extra 4 minutes, maybe a montage even, of Clark Kent, the journalist. Show me what he's doing.
I was really expecting going into it because it had been marketed, at least to me, as like the balance of Clark and Superman. And it was like in my brain, in the way that I had dreamt it up with all the trailer footage and how much they were promoting and talking about the Daily Planet suite of characters, was that this would be Clark's life in this corner with the Daily Planet. And then this would be Superman's life in the corner with the Justice Gang. And that these are the two groups in the pendulums of opinions that he is swinging between. And where does he draw the line for himself? And where is he in these conflicting worldviews? And the answer is like right down the middle. That's who he is. Superman or Clark Kent is not a secret identity for the sake of having a mask. It is like who he authentically is in his heart of hearts, and has found a way to do good outside of the super suit. That also gives him an in of like insider knowledge that he can be prepared with the super suit faster. Like, I don't like Clark Kent's not a pair of glasses as a disguise. It's like who he is, and not having the Daily Planet characters in focus very much at all, except for outside of Lois's subplot, was like, oh man, I wanted these two scales to be very balanced.
Well, but if you look at it though, we actually got something that I don't think we've ever truly seen before. When you look at the scene where Lois is interviewing him.
I thought that was great.
And it's like, so I can interview you as Superman. And he's like, yes. You see a slight change in him, the way he talks, the way he carries himself. We see Superman as Clark Kent in that moment. And then if you fast forward in the movie when they're having which I thought was a brilliant conversation, the punk rock conversation.
The punk rock conversation was perfect.
But if you look at that moment, we saw Clark Kent as Superman. Mm-hmm. So we saw both personalities just in different suits there for a few moments. And I thought that was just great the way that was done.
Which that and is then, the Juilliard posture shift. Now he's Clark Kent, now he's Superman. You see those shades, just not done quite as obviously, but it's more of like a nuance of the performance. But I'm like, oh, that's so good. Because
you literally got Superman as Clark Kent and Clark Kent as Superman. And I thought that was just brilliant the way that it was done. And then you've got, I love the everybody's talking about, well, he kept getting beat up. He kept getting beat up. He kept getting beat up. The fact that she took him home, and it was not to the Fortress of Solitude. She took him to what he felt was truly his home. And you've got literally Superman laying in Clark Kent's bed with the dog.
Little twin.
So, I mean, I understand what you're saying about wanting to see more Clark Kent, but I think we saw a ton of Clark Kent, just not what we're used to seeing.
Well, we didn't see the reporter Clark Kent. Yeah. We saw the human individual, but not the reporter.
Yeah.
So I guess before we finish talking about the movie and move on to some comics, you're the most informed and educated person on the topic. From a movie making perspective versus a comic book perspective, how does the film work or not work to your way of thinking?
So I had this conversation literally this morning with one of the accountants on the movie I'm on currently. And because she's like, I'm so tired of the superhero thing. Like, they keep rebooting Superman. It's like every time I close my eyes. And it's like, no, it's been like 12 years. But sure, for the sake of your argument, there is an oversaturation for the general public who sees these all the time. Sure. This is the first time in a long time that I have seen a superhero movie that has actually focused on superheroics and genuine acts of like interpersonal heroism, in a way that I find incredibly refreshing, because it does have all the fun, like the fun aspects of the comics and all the fun, like a lot of backlog of characterization to make for a really juicy thing for like comic people to dissect. But like as a superhero movie in a space of a lot of superhero movies where we get 3 or 4 a year, this is incredibly unique and just so fun. And like the romance of Clark and Lois, I think, is going to be a thing that sells a lot of people, and that delivers.
The chemistry between the two of them was phenomenal.
It's just electric. Because like Superman the movie from the 70s is a romance film first, and that's the thing, though. I think it isn't. I think like Superman is a person that Clark ultimately becomes and can hide behind as a mask, and then or like as like a mask of how he's choosing to protect himself, but also perform heroism out in the world. And then Clark is how Superman does it when he isn't in the suit. Like, I don't think it is like a Batman situation where like what face you're wearing for what gain. I think it's Superman would freak people out as a civilian. So he is incredibly conscious. His suit isn't perfectly form fitted. He's got the trunks to do a 1930s like macho man circus performer act. He's wearing bright colors. He like wants children to interact with him. Like, this isn't a person trying to physically intimidate anyone. So Clark, being a boy from Kansas who does have a job and like college credentials, going out into the world, is who he is. And Superman is just like a plus ultra way of him doing it in the fullest capacity that he can physically.
You know, that was actually somewhat addressed in an issue of Superman right after him and Doomsday fought for the first time. It was when he come back. It was right after Reign of Superman. Mm-hmm. And he was toying with the idea of just leaving Clark dead and being Superman all the time.
Sure.
And Lois told him, she said, okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go into that diner over there as Superman and get us something to drink.
Yeah, order a waffle.
And he went in and people were like, oh my God, they were going crazy. Yeah. Well, then it was like, okay, now I want you to go in as Clark Kent. He went in as Clark Kent and nobody cared. And she basically told him, she said, Clark needs Superman just as much as Superman needs Clark. They are literally the same person that they're two different people that need each other in order to exist as the same person. And it was great the way that it was put. So it's just him doing the right thing literally comes back down to the way he was raised.
Yeah.
And he's also all that it comes down to.
Yeah. And he's going to protect people through and through. Like that's what he's going to do, because that's the values that he's raised on.
No, not me. I was raised on those same values, but I would have taken Jor-El's advice and I would have had the harem.
Oh my God. I really, that's the one part of the movie that's like really been sticking with me, of like the validity of that message, because it does bring a lot into question, but at the same time, like
there is a plot twist. That's what we're referring to.
Yeah.
That you're not expecting.
But there is some mental gymnastics that make it work in either direction, and it just kind of depends on where they want to take it. And I think you're going to get that answer more in Supergirl, which is less than a year away, which I did not realize. I knew it was next year. I didn't think it was like 10 months next year. Yeah. I'm really excited.
So financially, how is the Superman movie doing?
It's doing really well.
I think I saw today where it's closing in on 400 million worldwide.
I think something like that. Yeah, I haven't looked at it today, but it was it's doing very well, especially, and like the word of mouth is going to keep it going. And this week there wasn't, I know, and this week there isn't like a lot of competition. So it's already like, I think they're getting another 60 million domestically this weekend is like the projection, which is huge.
Has it opened in all markets yet?
That's a good question.
I believe I did see where it opened in China and it opened in Japan.
This one will perform better than a lot of the other superhero films of late, because it's one of maybe, I think, 5 in the last 3 years that's actually opened in China. So like the numbers are going to be conflated anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever told y'all, but Blue Hellion is my favorite person in all of Nebraska.
What up?
All of Nebraska. That's the number one craft and hobby store in the state of Alabama.
Thank you very much.
Thanks to all of you.
But I mean, honestly, this has been a great conversation. But the key takeaway from tonight is I was referred to as a trusted source. So,
period. Also, there is a lot left on the table after Superman is after the film Superman, and there are a lot of loose threads that may or may not be featured very prominently in season 2 of Peacemaker, streaming on HBO Max in 5 weeks.
Not that you would have any way of knowing.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a whole other reason why I saw the movie as many times as I did, because I was like, okay.
I see these threads.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now, did you know about a particular cameo, or was you just as shocked as everybody else? I'm trying not to say who the cameo was.
In code, which cameo are you talking about? Like, where are you?
The one where the person was, the cameo was of the person on TV being interviewed.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Just curious.
Yeah, and that the part of this for me is like, I've known like the basic plot structure of Superman, including the ending and like all of the characters involved, for the better part of a year and a half. And so like I've had a lot of time to stew on this movie and be like, how do I think it's going to play out? Like I went to the set, like I've met the actors that play these characters. Like this has been part of my brain for such a long time, and I just could not wait to see the execution of it. And having played through all of the hypotheticals as many times as I have, the fact that I'm still sitting here a year later, having seen the movie and been like, that was even better than I thought it was going to be, is I think a big stamp of approval. And I think it's a cross the border, like an everybody thing. Like even the non-comic book people, like, your grandma will love this. She will not be confused. She's not going to look at like the big wall of text and think, oh, what of the past movies have I not seen? She's going to see Hawk Girl and go like, Oh, it's a superhero girl with wings. Okay. Moving on.
All right. So we're going to take off our reviewer hat for a minute.
Yes.
And we're going to put on our prognosticator hat.
Prognosticator hat.
Because for better or worse, what, little over a week away, we have another summer blockbuster with another fan favorite family.
Favorite too. Oh.
How do you think it's going to stack up? Because the comparisons will be inevitable. They will be like Thanos. They will be inevitable. Is it going to be better, worse, as good? How do you think?
I don't. Go ahead, sorry.
Sorry, I think financially it will be worse. Like, I don't think Fantastic Four will pull the Superman numbers, only because it is incredibly undermarketed by comparison. Disney's marketing structure is very algorithm centric. And so me, who already likes the thing and expresses every day of his life that he likes the thing, am getting an ad for it every single time I open my phone. I'm the guaranteed audience. I don't need you to advertise it to me. But like, there are other people that are even in my immediate circle that don't know that it's happening at all. Like, the marketing is so strange, whereas Superman, even before the word of mouth, is like vast. There is another Superman. This is national headlines. This is a big to do. Like, and the word of mouth after is going to continue to elevate it. I think Fantastic Four will have a good opening. I don't think it will make the Superman numbers, and that scares me. But as like a creative entity, how I think Fantastic Four will play out, I am enormously excited.
Do you think it will be? I don't mean as good. Will it make as much money? I mean, will it be as good a movie? Will it make you happy? Will it make me happy? Will it make Joe Schmo off the street who just loves Pedro Pascal happy?
I think it's unique enough to do that. Like, I think the 60s vibe will really throw people off.
This is a low bar you set there, James.
Wow.
Now, see, he thinks that FF is going to be better. Nick is a whiny baby. Blue Hellion thinks it's going to be at least as good. James is like bringing no confidence at all here. Just doesn't want it to suck. Laserbeak says no, not going to be as good. So we kind of got the full spectrum just right there in a handful of people.
I think Disney also spent so much money trying to cement the rights to get the Fantastic Four back in the first place. It was an $8 billion. It was like the biggest like entertainment absolution deal that has ever been made ever. It was like a $20 billion acquisition. They're going to do it right and to do it justice, but I think doing it as stylized as they did is going to both really help them and really hurt them. I think it'll bring in new people that haven't seen one of these in a long time, and it will like hurt the fans who don't care about the 60s aesthetic at all and maybe outside of a Fantastic Four. I think insularly, like within the comic book world, it's going to do great. Like, Thunderbolts really surprised people, and we've gotten past the wave of the Bob Chapek Disney oversight that was really hurting all of the movies in pre-production, in production, in post, in the studio note edits, in all of it, and in the release schedule. Like, Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four are the first ones that he did not touch at all, if I'm remembering right. So I that gives me hope more than anything, because the level of quality that came out of Thunderbolts and the level of quality that's coming out of Fantastic Four and the sheer like level of artistic direction that they have makes me incredibly excited about it. Also, I like Galactus. I think he looks cool, and they got a really good guy with a really good voice to play him. And I'm terrified to not hear that in theaters. Like, to hear like Ralph Ineson as Galactus, having never heard him as Galactus at all, hearing it for the first time in a movie theater, it's going to blow my mind, because they've been very coy about what he looks like, what he sounds like, and I think that's very smart.
I want to address this real quick.
I think this is right quick.
Do what?
So I need to grab something to drink right quick.
Okay.
I'm also going to grab some water, but I'm in earshot.
Okay. I think this is a really, it's a lot of people say stuff like this, and I don't understand the logic of it. You wrapped up this big, massive storyline that's been going on for a long time. That doesn't inherently mean that everything after that is terrible. I grant you that a lot of the stuff after that has not been good, but it has nothing to do with the fact that Endgame is over and that whole storyline is done. There are a lot of other factors at play, and it has nothing to do with the fact that Endgame is over, which is why Eternals didn't work very well. Shang-Chi, I thought, was a great movie. I really liked it. The problem is, building up to Endgame, it felt like there was a connective thread. Since Endgame, there has been no connective thread.
Yeah.
They just feel like random movies thrown out.
Yeah.
Part of the fun of the previous movies was, how are they going to be tied together? So I think what you're really lamenting, and I may be wrong, but I think what you're really lamenting is that there's no connective thread that draws through all these and makes it feel like there's a point, a greater point, beside the movie itself. Mm-hmm. Right? Does that make sense to you?
It completely. I've been thinking about it in the lens of like, or somebody brought this up, that Thunderbolts' post-credit scene is the first post-credit scene that we've had since Endgame that has been teasing the immediate next project.
Yes.
Because for so often and for so long over the 2020s, it was teeing up what the next storyline of this character was going to be, of the character that you just witnessed, and you wouldn't see a resolution to that in 2 or 3 years because of like production scheduling and COVID and all of this other stuff. But like Ironheart, for example, Ironheart's ending is so cool. And I'm so emotionally invested and I want to see where it goes. But what it tees up is what Riri's continuation will be, which we don't know when that's going to be because they haven't announced it. And there's no like thought of where that could go outside of where the story would go if there would be a second season. So it feels a little like disrupted when we're used to the structure. You did
hang on, Lord Blue Hellion. Why do you do that? Why? Nick is just going to complain some more about Norrin Rad not being the FF movie.
Oh yeah.
See, there you go. There you go. That's he's stuck on the fact that an alternate universe of the Fantastic Four doesn't have Norrin Rad as the Herald of Galactus.
I'll take it a step further than Blue Hellion. Nick, next Thursday night, if you want to come on and do one more magic trick on YouTube for old time's sake, I'll send you a link.
Good God.
Did he do a magic trick last time? I'm not getting this correlation.
He used to do them on Two Brothers Comics a fair bit, and they were insufferable.
I thought the magic trick was making the negative comments about Silver Surfer disappear.
No, that would be Kaiser Jose that does that. Get Kaiser Jose, get on that. Dude, no, you don't have to stir him up. I swear, you really don't. He's like a self-winding toy. He automatically winds himself up.
And he goes really good if you rev him up on the carpet first.
That generates a lot of static electricity, though.
Right with that one, Aaron.
Yeah, my God. Oh, but like on the post-credit scene thing, like we saw Steve Rogers as Captain America literally annually. We saw him every single year for 9 years building up to Endgame. Sam Wilson got the shield 6 years ago, and we have seen him twice. We've seen him once every 3 years.
That was one time too many.
Rude.
I did not like Brave New World.
But I don't either. But like, I like Sam Wilson. I just didn't like that movie. But like structurally, how can you expect an audience to have the same level of reaction if they don't have the same level of like connection to the character? And it's not anything to do with Sam Wilson. That is a strictly business decision of like, you want people to be invested. You want people to think he can lead the Avengers. Give me a reason to. Show me the thing.
Thunderbolts was actually very good.
I have a poster.
Thunderbolts was very good. It was a lot of fun. And Bob was surprisingly good, if I'm honest.
I have not seen it yet. As soon as it hits Disney Plus, I will watch it though.
Yeah, and then
I like
Lewis Pullman.
Well, I really did like him in that role. I didn't expect to, honestly. I thought he was a really bizarre choice, but I liked it. I'm trying to think back to what you were talking about the exposure to the characters and all that. I think the films have done Sam Wilson an injustice in that he doesn't have a compelling story that makes you know who he really is. The closest thing you get is he takes care of veterans.
Yeah.
But that was a long time ago. When's the last time you saw that? You don't have that. I want to fight for my country and I'm being denied that opportunity. I can do this all day. I'm going to do the right thing no matter what. No matter no matter what I lose because of it, I'm going to do it. You had all that. You had that faith. You had that grit, that desire, that integrity, and you had all that earnestness. You had all that in spades with Steve Rogers, and they have not built up the character of Sam Wilson at all. He was a sidekick character that they brought along, and then he got the shield, and you're like, okay, I was expecting more character-driven stories that would make us care about him as Captain America, and they have not delivered that.
And part of the problem,
in the Falcon and Winter Soldier, I love Falcon and Winter Soldier. I thought that was a great series. I really did. But once we got to the movie, he went right back to feeling like a sidekick, just a sidekick dressed as his version of Captain America.
Because legitimately, this was like a problem that I've had with a lot of the films of late. When it spins out of a Disney Plus show, the film is edited so that you don't have to have seen the Disney Plus show. But it's done it to a point where it actively hurts you if you have seen the show. Like you are knowledgeable of the missing chunks of Sam Wilson's psyche that are left behind when he doesn't have the television show cast of characters. When you move him into the movie where none of those characters are present. Like Isaiah Bradley gets thrown in jail. The worst thing that's ever happened to him, repeated again. And when he's in jail, he does not mention his grandson who lives with him that you met in the television show. Not even once. He's just what?
If they're building toward a Young Avengers and they don't have Patriot, they're doing it wrong.
But like, even just like as storytelling, like if you introduce characters to build an emotional connection to them and then put them in a situation in a movie later down the line where you don't have the supporting cast or the connective tissue to like keep that emotional through line going because, oh, well, we can't have it be confusing for the people that haven't seen the show. That hurts. That like really hurts your chances like a lot because Sam Wilson's whole thing was like the exposition of Winter Soldier that would make sense for him being in the jetpack. And at no point in any of the Sam Wilson led projects have they focused on any of that or brought any of that back up to the surface for him. You're just supposed to like kind of logically know it. And that's going to be the thing unless you do the mental gymnastics into understanding his psyche outside of like Mackie's performance, which I love, but the movie doesn't give me a reason to like understand his motivation. And I hate that so much. I want to love him so bad.
I like Mackie as Falcon a lot. Mm-hmm. And I thought they did a lot to make Falcon an interesting and likable character. Yeah. They haven't done anything to make Mackie as Captain America an interesting and likable character.
They've not
even likable. He's likable, but they haven't made him interesting. You don't care. You watch it and you're like, I'm not emotionally invested in this character.
I want to be. I'm looking for reasons to be it. I can't find it.
Right.
Like, yeah. It has nothing to do with any reason of him being Captain America. That has nothing to do with him in the costume. That has nothing. Like, I love that character. It's just the actual writing and pragmatic decisions of the story
has let him down.
Let me experience that love as completely as I want to.
I mean, right. I'm going into Doomsday rooting for Doom. I hope he wins.
Legitimately, and that's my other thing. Like, with the interconnectivity build-up thing, Fantastic Four, I'm very excited because this is one of the very few opportunities where it is a direct lead-in to Doomsday. and like you are getting a very direct A and B, a starting point and an ending point, and something to look forward to with a release date attached to it that is achievable. But like, I just wanted to see the Avengers on their own first before they meet the FF and before they meet the X-Men and doing all of this stuff. Like, I'm excited, but like, I want to know who the Avengers are before the Fantastic Four meet them, because like you knew the Avengers for a long time before the Guardians collided with them.
But see, here's my thing on it. I think we're at the point now in the MCU where they should have already done it. It is time to move away from the Avengers. It is time to let the Avengers be a background story that somebody sees on the news or something. It's time to move forward with Fantastic Four and X-Men. It's their time now, mainly because I mean, I don't have superhero fatigue, but I definitely have Avenger fatigue.
Yeah.
Avengers peaked with Endgame. It's never going to be the same again. So put them to bed and let's move forward.
Yeah. I would be of that mind, and I think maybe that is the mind that they're going to. But like, they've just sure done a lot of build up with the Avengers cast of characters that are still around, which is all but 3 of them. For me to be able to make that distinction and be able to separate them, because it's also not the X-Men, it's the 2000s versions of the X-Men, because they're still doing multiverse stuff instead of like organically introducing the X-Men in the way that they're organically introducing the Fantastic Four. I'm like, I want to, but it's like putting my foot in the door of the past so much that I can't look to the future about it. And I miss the Avengers too, and I want to see Sam lead. I want to see Carol. Like, I want to see these characters interact with each other, because they didn't get a chance to, because Endgame was so focused on saying goodbye to Tony and Steve and Natasha that like we didn't have an opportunity to see the new blood characters that I introduced between 3 and 4, or between phases 2 and 3, to like get to know it. Like Carol's had like 2 lines of dialogue with the Avengers characters. Like, I want to see her in a position where she's a member of the team. And we're
God, Nick, shut up.
We've not seen it. We've known Captain Marvel for 7 years and we haven't seen that yet. I'm like, what? What?
Well, I mean, if we go back to the problems with the MCU movies the past several years, and this is where I think that Fantastic Four is going to shine, okay? The early MCU movies, Iron Man 1, Captain America First Avenger, etc., they were very character-driven.
Yes.
They were character-focused, character-driven, and you bought into those characters. You wanted to root for those characters. You were really intent on that. You point me to the more recent slate of movies and show me how they're character-driven. They're not.
They're not, because they started going with quantity over quality.
I'm going to say something a lot of people are really not going to like. I think The Marvels is probably the most character-focused one we've had in a long time. And The Marvels and Thunderbolts, I think, are the 2 that have like actually taken that to heart about it. But The Marvels was so like bogged down by trying to establish what its plot was that you kind of weren't looking for it there, but it was there. Like, you understand Carol Psyche more in the first 10 minutes of The Marvels than you do throughout all of her previous MCU appearances combined, I think.
See, to me, and this is definitely going to be a hot take for some people. I think after Endgame, the only true character-driven thing that we've seen from Marvel was Moon Knight, and it was literally a
WandaVision. I thought WandaVision was extremely character-driven.
Yeah, it was, but I'm talking about as far as actually seeing the evolution of this character, the way he was introduced, the way he had to come to terms with his own mental illness, just to find out that he's a superhero on top of everything else, or that one of his split personalities made a deal with an ancient Egyptian god. But some people just couldn't get past the hippo, you know?
Yeah. The hippo.
Those people never read any ancient Egyptian mythology, and it shows.
Yeah, but the thing with like Fantastic Four too, like you do get an opportunity to meet these characters because you also get to meet them in their prime. Like the Future Foundation is the NASA of this universe, and Sue Storm is the head of the NASA of this universe. Like, you get to see what the world from their impact has already been before you meet them at their greatest calamity. So you see them at their prime before the calamity comes, and then you get to challenge them, like, once their strengths are already established, instead of doing an origin story thing.
Yeah, and that comic book, First Steps, is literally written like it is a press release / comic book from the Future Foundation.
It's introducing shops in the Baxter Building.
Yeah, in fact, the Baxter Building is in the process of being built in this comic book.
That's fun. Yeah, see, that kind of stuff makes me excited.
I think that the FF movie is going to be very character focused, and I think they're going to build a rapport with those characters. You're going to like one or all of them and be rooting for one or all of them across the board, except for Franklin, who everyone hates and should hate because he is evil incarnate and stupid.
No, that's where you're wrong. Franklin, the entire purpose of the Fantastic Four movie is to introduce us to Franklin for when he has to take on Doom.
Baby.
I really can't stand Franklin. Franklin has always been misused. Always.
I really like that panel where it's like the mobile of all of his like planets, or all of like the planets over his head, and then he turns them into real planets, and then there's like stars floating, and like there's like a nebula cluster, and he's just like, ooh, boop, and then he's just created sentient life. Just going, boop. Like, I love that visual so much. I'm so excited.
It would explain a lot about our world.
Yeah, it would.
What world do you live in? I don't know. Something some random baby dreamed up and just accidentally booped into existence.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, there's only one character that can truly save the MCU, and that's Stiltman.
Hang on. Are you talking about Franklin Richards and Legion both being characters that just drive you up a wall and you can't stand the way they're used in comics? Because if you are, I 100% agree with you on both of those.
Also, please do not read the Giant Size X-Men anniversary specials if you don't like Legion. Sorry.
Yeah, Legion drives me insane.
Sorry. Do you like the Legion TV show? I don't think we've ever talked about that.
It was okay. It was better than the comics.
I'll take it.
I've never liked him in the comics at all. I like the Hellstrom TV show, and I wish that we had more of that.
See, I didn't even try. I love Damien Hellstrom, and I was just like, I don't think I can do that to myself.
It was really good.
It's like I never watched all of Inhumans. I saw the first episode, and then I was like, no, I love Black Bolt and Medusa too much to do this to myself.
That you should not have watched, because that was guaranteed dumpster fire from the minute they said, here's our idea. Like, no, that was terrible.
I know
the Hellstrom show was surprisingly good. I'm talking, it was like a good. If it didn't have the name Hellstrom in it, you would just watch it and think that's a really good horror show.
Yeah, I think that, which is good, because Inhumans, I think, is just not good at all.
It stood on its own very well.
Okay, I'll try it out at Halloween.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween.
Because I will have thought about it a lot. Because I am a lot of things. Like short sentences are not a thing that I do. See, there was a shorter way of saying that, and I couldn't even muster it.
Fair enough. But no, I would like to go back and rewatch it, and I'll rewatch it. We can
Let's do it.
We can talk.
Let's do it.
I think that'd be great.
October.
I never saw it either, so let me know when y'all do, and I'll watch it also.
Actually, Alan, I think you would really like it. I think you would like it a lot. We almost got a kitty sighting, Kelly. So sorry.
I tried so hard. She ran away from me. She scratched my hand.
Work.
I'm sorry.
All right, Alan. I was gonna say let's talk some comics, but we're really running short on time here. And
you know what?
Do you want to just like speed race through a few, or do we want to hold them until next week?
Through a few, because there's a couple that definitely need to be talked about for just a second.
Kaylee says, like, so close to having a good show tonight, but no dice, no cat.
So right off the bat, and I think
hang on. No, Nick, there we go. There's a cat for you, Kaylee. So I'm going to embiggen him so that you can see more of the cat. There we go.
Very sad about being on the show, but she loves the spotlight. She loves being the center of attention. Sorry, say hello to your doting fans. She's like, what are you doing to me?
I've been listening to you, nerd, for almost kitty cat.
Yeah.
I can hear Kaylee say it. That's great. So we didn't even talk about crypto. You're absolutely right, Nick.
I love crypto.
Crypto was brilliantly used in this movie. I really was afraid crypto was going to just steal the whole show and be ridiculous. But crypto was used to fantastic effect in this movie. I really loved it.
I love the line. I had to bring him. I didn't want him to kill my parents' cows. It's so good. So good.
Yeah, it really was. You're going to talk some comics. Let's talk some comics.
And I'll make this really quick. So I think
I grabbed
the last issue on the shelf. I'm not for sure. If anyone out there is a fan of Starship Troopers, that's going to be the closest thing to describe this. And I can't believe I'm about to say it, but I'm thoroughly impressed with a Bad Idea comic book, and that is Planet Death.
Planet Death.
Yeah, it was fun. It's very simple. It's a quick read. It's beautiful art. It's going to give you Starship Troopers vibes. Destroy the weapon, come home. Read the book, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that. Next up, Fantastic Four First Steps, trash. Next up, Fantastic...
Fantastic 2 kitties. Four. Hang on.
2 kitties.
There you go, Lisa. Kitty the second.
Mason got really upset the minute that I reached for him. He I poked him because I missed him, so I grabbed him right here, and he went, "What?" And then he ran, and then I picked him up. Yeah, he's not very pleased.
This is Kaylee's favorite episode of Shop Talk ever.
I love Mason. He squeaks. He doesn't meow. He squeaks.
Payment for all the yada yada. Fair enough. Yep. A double kitty show. All right.
30 movies.
Fantastic Four #1. It has rebooted again, but Ryan North is still writing.
And Humberto Ramos is on art.
Yes, this was another solid issue. The only thing about it is I feel like we kind of have been here before with a story like this, but it's Ryan North. And if anything, Ryan North has proved to us over the past couple of years that we need just to shut our mouths and trust him. He knows what he's doing with these characters. I'm definitely looking forward to it. If you want to jump on board with Fantastic Four, now is the time to do it. You don't need to know anything else that's truly happened before this.
I do have a question about that because I am curious. Whenever I read books that are written by the same person and they shift into a new numbering system, and you don't need to know the plot of what happened before to get into #1. Mm-hmm. Is there an emotional through line? Does where we start with the characters in #1 play off of where we emotionally left them off at the end of number 31 or whatever it was?
33, and I hope not, because 33 was a heartbreaker.
Yeah, no, it's really not. The only thing about this is when Ryan North took over Fantastic Four, was that 2023? 2022, somewhere right around there? He did a really, really, really good job of giving us solid comic books with solid adventures, but building these characters out and putting them back together. Because when he took over, there was no Fantastic Four. They were not together anymore. And he does a really good job with character driven and making them a cohesive family unit again.
Yeah.
So if you did not read that first series, yeah, you do miss out on that, and you miss out on why they have this bond. But as far as you just want to jump on board with some good Fantastic Four, you can start right here. I mean, unless you want to get the trades for the other.
I moved between a lot of Jed McKay's Doctor
Strange. I like your style. Have a great night.
Yep. See ya.
I moved between a lot of Jed McKay's Doctor Strange, which renumbered 3 times over the course of about 3 years. Actually, 3 times in as many years. And like I could not have ever imagined starting like in like volume 2 or 3 because of how like much of an emotional through line came from the start of the first volume. And so I always get apprehensive if it's the same writer, because if it's a different writer, then I know like it's basically a new pitch. But if it's the same writer, I'm like, I feel like I should probably have read this other stuff, and that made me have apprehension.
Well, for Jed MacKay on Moon Knight, we're now on what, the third Moon Knight's title. He had Moon Knight, then he had Vengeance of the Moon Knight, and then he had, which was 10 issues, and then he has Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu.
And then Faces of the Moon Knight and City of the Dead.
Well, that was different. Faces of the Moon Knight was different. That was kind of a anthology kind of a story with multiple things going on. That was different. But it's been the same story all the way through. Mm-hmm. They've just changed the name and numbers, but I think they did it in a really brilliant, logical way that tells me that Jed MacKay was responsible for that. He's like, you guys are you keep wanting to relaunch things with the number one. I'm going to build a series that has actually got all these different titles and names, so you can put a new number one on it, but that it carries through logically from one to the next in a brilliant way. And I thought that was great.
And then if you're starting at volume 2 or 3, it's, hey, this is Moon Knight. He's in the Midnight Mission. This is Reese. She's a vampire. This is Tigra. Yeah. They're in love. Yeah. All right, let's go punch some bad guys.
But as far as the Fantastic Four goes, the only reason there's a number one and not number 34 is because there's a movie coming out, and Marvel wanted to give people who see the movie and like it a place where they can jump on an easy number one. Yeah. And so keeping the same writer, all that, I'm thrilled that they are, because he has proven he knows how to write the Fantastic Four.
Yay.
All right.
Sorry. Yeah, what's next?
Next book. Yeah. I did not sign up for this. I don't know if and I don't even remember seeing where Josh signed me up for it. I don't know how this ended up in my box. It's a new book by Image. I was like, you know what? I'll read it. I've had a light week. We'll at least be able to review it on the show. And I was thoroughly impressed by The Unchosen by Image Comics.
I 100% signed you up for that.
Oh, it was so good. So good. Literally, the gist of it is they are magic users. It's almost like some type of school at the end of the world.
Yeah.
They're trying to protect this one girl, but the magic, they don't really actually call it magic. They call it the word. Really good concept. It felt like a bizarre mix of a little bit of Harry Potter, a little bit of
The Magicians.
What was that one Image comic? It started out with a V that come out a couple of years ago.
Vanish.
A little bit of Vanish, and just a touch of crap.
That's not a great thing to add into a comic.
Yeah, no, it was
poop magic.
I can picture it, but I cannot think of the name of it. But this was a really good, fun book, and there was so much. They didn't rush the story, and there was so much in here that I'm really looking forward to the next issue. A book that thoroughly impressed me, and I was not expecting to be impressed by it, and I need to cover up the cover just a little bit, and that is Illuminati. This is what an AWA book should be, not that whole They Chose Violence crap that they put out. Let's
talk about that book for just a second. Illuminati, the big reason why they're marketing that book is it's written by Charlemagne the God.
Yep.
The rapper. And you've got people who are like, who the ever loving heck is that? And that's a heck of a thing to call yourself, right? And that's the reason that they're selling it. The reason I bought it and that I ordered it for you is not because of him. It's because Dennis Cowan is doing the art, and Dennis Cowan is a phenomenal artist.
Mm-hmm.
But more intriguingly and really unusually, Bill Sienkiewicz is doing the inks for Dennis Cowan's pencils. Bill Sienkiewicz doesn't just run by an Inca comic that somebody did. Bill Sienkiewicz is one of the best artists on the planet. You mix him and Dennis Cowan together, and you've got a heck of an artistic combo. So if the story was complete and utter garbage, that book was going to be worth looking at.
Yep. But basically, the whole gist of the book is a woman goes to California. Her twin sister was unalive. She was on the verge of becoming a recording artist. She's trying to figure out what's going on. She's wanting to figure out who kind of unalived her sister because she doesn't believe the story. The twist is her sister's ghost shows up to help her. We're going to have secret societies. We're going to have everything that AWA is known for. I would love it if our boy from Black Tape showed up at some point at the end, but we know
that'd be amazing.
This was like a really good book. I just can't show you all the cover.
It's a little spicy.
It's just a touch spicy. Next up is Green Lantern, Absolute Green Lantern issue 4.
Ooh.
We're getting a little bit closer as to what actually happened to everybody, and we're getting a little bit closer as to what Hal's actual power is and how he come about it. Really good.
I have a quick question about Absolute Green Lantern. Is Joe in the focus yet? Because I read issues 1 and 2, and I was like, I'm really ready for this book to be about Joe Mullen. I miss her. I missed Far Sector. Like, is she in it? Like, is she the character, like the main character now, or is it still focused mostly on Hal?
I can't remember the main character's name. I thought she was a brand new character.
No, she was from Far Sector. She was introduced in 2020, I think.
Yeah. You remember the Green Lantern spin-off book, Far Sector, where she had the big glasses?
Yeah,
and the big hair?
It's almost like it's a split main character between her and Hal. You got a lot. There's a ton of story going on there that you got to unpack between those two.
Copy.
And it's not like romantic love interest or anything like that. It's just
it's more like how much of a red herring is the Green Lantern. That's what I think of it as.
Yeah. Next up, Aquaman issue 7. We're finally getting ready for the big showdown. Once again, Aquaman has been phenomenal. Jeremy Adams has been great. For those of you that are reading this, I'm wondering if it's just
all three of you.
I would love a spin-off series of Captain Nemo.
Oh yeah, he's great. Speaking of which, there is a new series on
Nautilus.
AMC, I think.
Yeah, Nautilus.
Yeah, Nautilus.
I've been watching it, and it's been
so
great.
Good. It is so good.
Wait, I'm sorry. Captain Jules Verne's Captain Nemo is in the Aquaman comic right now?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
What? Why was that not the first thing you said when you pitched this book to me? What?
Because you weren't here for the first issues that we talked about.
He really didn't show up.
He showed up at issue number 4.
Yeah, about issue 4 is when he showed up.
Is he like an old man, or is he like an LXG kind of character?
No, he's the old man.
Okay.
And they're on the Nautilus and everything.
I don't just love the design of the Nautilus, I'll say that, but I get it from an artist perspective of I want it a lot more streamlined so it's easier to draw. I get that. But no, he's a great character. He is a great character in this.
I need this book in the trades. When it comes to trade, like I need it in my box.
You need this book anyway, because this book is amazing. We have been preaching the gospel of Aquaman for so long. But
do you have the issues at the store? Because if so, I will take them.
Actually, we've sold out about it.
Good. I'm glad. So I'll get the trade.
Hey, look, Bill is in the house. What's up, Bill?
Bill?
Honestly, I don't know much about it yet. They're supposed to have a retailer roundtable here in a couple of weeks where they're going to tell us more about it. But I don't know a lot about it right now.
Yeah, I just saw it advertised for the first time last night on Instagram.
Yeah, that Brady Bunch photo. Yeah.
But anyway, the Aquaman book from the jump has been really good. And I've never been a real big Aquaman fan. I don't know the whole lot of people that are. But the story is excellent. It's really well written. It's dealing with the aftermath of Absolute Power and the All-In stuff where he got Mira's powers. And so he doesn't have his own powers. He has Mira's powers. and they work so well for him. And it also works that he's trying to figure them out.
Yeah,
because he hasn't quite figured them all out yet, and he's figuring out new things to do as you go along. And sometimes those things are like, oh wow, that's awesome, and sometimes like, whoa, that
if
ain't right.
Aquaman starts blood bending, you will hear me screaming from across state lines.
Well, start screaming, because he does it.
He does it once, and it's necessary, and it freaks everybody the heck out. But yes.
Because it's almost like a prophecy coming true to them.
Yeah.
I have never been this excited for an Aquaman book in my life. What are you kidding?
The story is awesome. The art is awesome. It is such a great book. And the most recent issue has got a Mark Spears cover. And it's old school Aquaman. It's like Silver Age Aquaman cover.
That is like perfectly suited to exactly my taste. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Now, this one right here, and here comes the spoiler alert for everybody. So when Aquaman finally, he does get to Atlantis in this one. He finds it. It's
finally locked. Yes.
But there's been a time jump. Basically, time works differently where they're at.
In the blue, yeah.
And Mera is an old woman, and his daughter is grown. He didn't even know he had a daughter, or she was still a baby. It's so good because literally the last page is him and his daughter standing side by side to defend Atlantis. It is so good what Jeremy Adams has done, which I hate.
It's such an absolutely compelling story.
Yeah, I hate that I did this one before. Oh, I still got two more. I didn't want to end on a low note. I was a little disappointed in this one.
Yeah, it didn't have the same punch, did it?
Yeah, it was almost like they were just trying to jam them together right quick and just giving you a brief little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they straighten that out. Now, one that had a ton of punch, and it'll be my last book because I know we got 2 minutes till 9 p.m. Central Time, and that was Absolute Superman issue number 9.
Yeah.
Superman with the Omega Man. It was so good. You can already see the splits and divisions. The way it ended with a little bit of a cliffhanger on Jimmy Olsen. I mean, if y'all are not reading the Absolute comics, you're missing out, number one. But I did see a thing where they asked Scott Snyder over the weekend how long the Absolute series is going to last, or how long until Absolute basically clashes with main continuity. Mm-hmm. And he said that as of right now, there's no plans for Absolute and main continuity to cross over. And one of the big reasons is because everybody's reading Absolute. And as long as people are going to read them, they're going to leave them in place the way they are and just let them go.
Thank heaven, because that's what they need to do. That's what they need to do. They are so good.
I'm like 3 issues behind on Absolute Superman. What is the ultimate pitch for Jimmy Olsen? Or the absolute pitch for Jimmy Olsen?
Do you know who Jimmy Olsen is in it? I can't remember.
I think he's introduced earlier. I thought he was.
I don't think if he is, I didn't.
You're probably more than 3 issues behind.
Yeah. Jimmy Olsen is one of the Omega Men.
Oh, okay. Copy.
And he is awesome. It's so good.
So good.
I'm waiting for you to read the issue focused on Brainiac.
Yes, that's where I'm at. I'm at that.
You read the Brainiac issue, which is utterly creepy and makes you want to go take a shower.
I'm at the issue where he's on the last page and he's the villain of the next issue. So
the next issue is the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, issue when they meet Brainiac.
It's supremely creepy, that issue.
I'm so excited. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's rough.
I mean, I do read the main Superman title. I'm thoroughly enjoying the main title run. But to be honest with you, I like this version of Lois Lane in the Absolute Universe better.
I do too. Before I answer this question, I want you guys to take a shot at this.
Of what we think your favorite comic series is presently?
Yes. My favorite current series, yes.
Are we excluding G.I. Joe?
Since that's universally known to be the case, we can exclude G.I. Joe. Besides G.I. Joe, which Larry Hama is a god, what is your current favorite comic series? And Alan, we get to meet Larry Hama in just, 2-3 weeks?
Is that definitely happening?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to say it's one of two comic books. It's either Absolute Batman or Absolute Superman. It can go either way on those two. But the other book, I'm going to say Fantastic Four, Ryan North.
Those were my guess was going to be Ryan North's Fantastic Four, Absolute Batman. That's really funny.
There is a wild card, though. The wild card is actually Jed McKay's Moon Knight.
Okay. These are all worthy guesses.
I haven't heard you talk so much about like a new book as you have Aquaman. And this is like outside of Shop Talk. Like this is even in our conversations. I think it's somewhere in this ballpark.
It's mostly because Aquaman was such a surprise.
Right?
Right? It came out of nowhere and I'm like, this looks interesting. I'll give it a read. I gave it a read in the 90s when Peter David wrote it. I'll give it a read now. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I'm loving it. Everything you all said, absolutely worthy choices, right? And if they all came out the same week, all my favorite comics came out the same week, and I were to put them on the stack, and which one am I going to reach for first besides G.I. Joe, because I'm definitely reaching for that one first.
Of course.
Which one am I going to reach for first?
There was one other. Never mind.
Let's see if you can nail it, because I'm about to say it.
Hyde Street.
There you go.
Oh, I don't think I would have.
Hyde Street is so good.
Did you ever?
I love the vibe of Hyde Street. I love the whole Twilight Zone thing going on. The artwork is dark and moody.
Sold immediately.
I love the nature of it. I like the mystery involved in it. I just love what's happening on Hyde Street, and I love that the world of Hyde Street. I think it's fantastic.
So, did you ever think that the top of your reading list when it comes out would be ultimately a horror comic?
No, I did not. Absolutely did not.
Look, I'm gonna put Aaron up here for a little while.
What? This feels strange. Whoa.
You know what? Let's just go for it. Let's just go for it all right there. There you go.
Put me down.
He's like pushing, like, no.
I'm like Gwenpool, like pushing at the panels.
Yeah, that was actually a little fun exercise. So thanks for that question there, Blue Hellion. That was awesome.
That was a good one.
And I like to see where you guys think my head is at. But Hyde Street would be the next one I reach for right now. All those others are absolutely ones I've got to read right away. But G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, Hyde Street, Moon Knight, Absolute Superman, Absolute Batman. And I think I like them in that order best. I like Absolute Superman the best of the two. It's not by a lot, but I like it. Yeah, this is some good stuff. Some really good stuff.
I need to like really fix my routine. Like because this movie is over in a week, 7 days left. And like, that is the thing I want to do. Like, I want to sit and read like my whole stack of months and months and months of being so behind on everything. Cause I've convinced myself that I need to read everything like in a binge reading the one book all the way through, as I've been so behind that I don't go issue to issue, month by month anymore. And it's really, 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 really hurt me. Like, I only actually sat down for Blood Hunt like last week.
Oh God.
It's been bad. It's been bad.
That's a long time to wait for that disappointment.
Unless there's like number one. It's because I was trying to catch up on Doctor Strange before I read it. And I was oh, this is...
But, you know, as weird as it sounds, I do not have one book that is my automatic go-to anymore. It's
besides G.I. Joe?
Yeah, G.I. Joe. But see, here's the thing about it. When I get my stack and G.I. Joe's in it, I don't rush home to read it. I always wait, and G.I. Joe is the last book I read because I
can't delay the gratification that long. I have to read it now. I want
everything else out of the way, and then I want my palate cleansed, and I want to sit there and enjoy my G.I. Joe comic.
You can't have your pudding if you don't eat your meat.
Hey, look, you're going to truly realize how bad those movies are once you finish that book series.
That's true. The books are awesome, and the movies are not.
Whoa.
Well, the first two movies with Christopher Columbus that Chris Columbus did were great. Very faithful to the movies, and after that, they absolutely left the books behind and went straight into the garbage.
I thought Prisoner of Azkaban was really good.
That was all right.
It was fun, but the thing is, they were leaving so many little things out of the books. Out of the movies, that by the time they got to the last movie, they never realized that some of the little things that they left out meant something in the last book.
Yep.
Like the whole mirror thing, that meant something. That was a lot more to that. And then by the time you get to the whole broken mirror and seeing Dumbledore's brother in it, the general audience didn't know what that was. They didn't. If you hadn't read the books, you never would have understood that.
There were some things that made it, like for me, where it was just a willfully leaving the books behind in a dumb way. Like book 5, I think, expressly says when they're flying all the way from Hogwarts to London that they fly really, really high up so nobody can see them, and they're all freezing, and it's really painful, and it's difficult. And instead, for movie fun, they have them flying super low at street level, like zooming past houses and through between buildings, and like that's expressly not what they said. It counter to the entire thing, and it's a small detail, but there were 10 million of those small details. It was like death from 1,000 cuts. Yeah. What are we looking at?
For the TV show.
Oh, I totally thought we were looking at a really young.
I can't Aaron there compared to Superman and Harry Potter in the same episode. You can't do that to me.
But also at the end of I think the 5th movie, where they're like, okay, wow, we blew all of our special effects budget. So the last big climactic battle, let's just have a whole lot of broken glass. Yep, that's it. It's a lot of broken glass. The Ministry of Defense is just broken glass. There we go. Good job, guys. And it was utter disappointment.
They left out the entire subplot. They only just barely mentioned the subplot of Neville's parents.
Yep.
And that was like a big, if they would have just put that in, you would have understood how truly great of a character Neville was just by showing up.
Yep, that's right.
Nick, you're actually about halfway through, in my opinion, the worst book out of all of them.
The first one I thought was pretty bad. It took me a long time to get through it because you could tell she had never written a book before. It took me 3 times of trying to read it to actually get through the first one because it was like, oh my Lord, this is terrible writing. Like the concepts were cool. All that stuff was cool, but it was very badly written. Then the second book was a little bit better. The third book was better, a lot better than the fourth. And her writing got better as she grew into it.
To me, the third book is actually when it stopped being a kid's series.
Oh, it absolutely grew up with Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And it got dark.
When you look at what the core story of the third book is, that's not a kid's series. That's actually pretty dark and sadistic.
Hang on. Okay, we're going to need to talk about that one day and get you some good fantasy books because you clearly have not been exposed to the right material. We'll just leave it at that for now because I got to go.
Yeah.
I have a cat who is demanding to be fed and all kind of other things. So, you guys, it's been awesome. It's been fun. Thank y'all for showing up. Thanks for hanging out with us. Really appreciate it. And we will catch you guys next time. So till then.